Good morning, this is Lee Thompson with Flowmaster Mufflers. Today we've got a 2010 Ford F-150 with a 5.4 liter engine, and we're going to show you today how to install one of our catback systems made for this vehicle. The system we're going to put on today is a part number 817478. As I said, it's a catback system, fully stainless. It's a 3-inch pipe, runs back into one of our Super 50 series mufflers, into split dual tailpipes. Alright, before we start taking anything off, what I'm going to do is go around and put a little bit of this anti-seize, or you can use a silicone spray lube or some sort of lubricant, and put it on all these rubber hangers and all the clamp bolts. Makes the removal much easier. We're going to remove these two bolts here at this front flange connection. There'll be another connection a little bit farther back on the truck. Fan clamp connection, and we're going to have to loosen that clamp as well. Get it nice and loose. Now what you're going to need to do, because there's a small pin and a keyway at the top of this connection that locks it in place, we're going to have to slide this muffler back a little bit and drop this front part down. And then we turn, I guess it would be turn it clockwise, and it'll disengage that notch. There we go. Takes a little wiggling to get it out. If you're doing this on the ground, it may be necessary to use a sawzall or hacksaw to cut the tailpipe at the back of the muffler, just to give you enough angle to be able to get the assembly out. But like I said, we've got this on the rack, so we'll do it the easy way. What we're going to do now is we're going to slide the muffler assembly back, disengage all the hangers that are supporting it. They'll slide backwards. It'll drop down, and then I'll pull the system out towards the front. Alright, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to mount this bracket for the left side tailpipe hanger up into position on the frame up here. Now use the bolt provided and washer, and there's a square bolt hole here, and we're going to feed the bolt up through that hole, through the square hole, and then back down through this round hole here. Doesn't always go in that easy. Sometimes a little magnet or something like that will help guide it through. But once it's through there, you're going to put the hanger up in position, and we're going to bolt it in place. Now actually the hanger needs to point towards the inside of the vehicle. Oops. Alright, due to different cab configurations and bed lengths, you're going to have to refer to our instruction sheet. It outlines which inlet pipes you're going to need to use with the system. This particular truck, we're going to go ahead and use this inlet pipe here as it stands. It doesn't need any trimming. Put it up into position and utilize the bolts and washers and nuts provided in the kit. 3-inch clamp onto that connection. Go ahead and slide that all the way onto the front adapter pipe. Make sure it goes on all the way. And then we'll go ahead and just kind of lightly clamp that in place. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and put a clamp on the inlet of the muffler. Slide it up into position. Make sure it's engaged all the way onto the pipe. Just kind of enough to hold it in position. You still want to be able to adjust everything. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and work on the tailpipes. We'll slide the clamps onto the muffler outlets. You want to make sure and do that before you put the pipes in, because you can't get them on afterwards. We're going to go ahead and slide the right side tailpipe up over the axle engage the hanger, the factory mount. And then slide it into the back of the muffler. Again, it should slide all the way forward, make sure it's totally engaged. Now we're going to move on to the rear section of the left side tailpipe. I'm going to go ahead and slide a clamp onto this portion right here. And then go ahead and slip that into the slip pit connection and engage it with the rubber hanger that we installed at the very beginning. Again, we'll tighten down this clamp just enough to hold it in place right now. We've chosen to go with the side exit on this particular truck, so we've used the side exit adapter pipes. Go ahead and slide a clamp on, put it up into position. Lightly clamp this just enough to hold it in place here. We'll do our final adjustment once all the pipes and pieces are on. And then what we'll do is go ahead and slide the tip on. Same thing here, just tightening just enough to hold it in place. Now that we've got the entire system installed and lightly clamped into position, now what you need to do is go back and adjust the position of the whole system. Do a little tweaking and twisting here and there. Check, make sure the muffler's level, the inlet pipe is straight. You've got adequate clearance over the axle for suspension travel. And then what you want to do, it's looking good. Want to start up at the front. Go ahead and tighten down these flange connection up here. All right. Now we still have this clamp hanger piece here we hadn't tightened down yet, so we'll go ahead and slide that in place. And try to rotate that down to kind of put a little preload on the hanger. That'll help the muffler from sagging down after you pull the stand out. And once you've got all those tight, we can go ahead and pull the clamp out. System should all hang in place. All right, we're down to the last step. We've got the car on the ground. What we're going to do is just do some final adjustment on these tips. As I said earlier, it's easier on the ground because you can really see the rotation of the logo and make sure you get that even. Get your height adjustment just right. And then basically what you're going to do is kind of go back and forth between the right side and left side, make sure everything's matching and even. You can use a tape measure if you need, or just your fingers. And then we'll go ahead and tighten the thing down, and that wraps up the installation.